Right, so here we go with the Bejo Trustees fine cars and the Kaltron Formula Supercars together. The Formula Supercars will probably start ahead of the fine cars. Yes, they will. And you've got Andrew Moffat, Carl Halleck, Karel van der Merwe, Yassine Dahmen, Craig Hume, and Glenn Phillips. They will be the drivers for the Kaltron Supercars, Byron. And then the rest of them will be the Bejo Trustee fine cars.
Yeah, and that is Günther Appelgren in the E36 BMW. That'll be on pole position. Had a quick chat with Günther earlier on. Also is a regular campaigner at a Mark 1 Golf in Gymkhanas. And he loves his battles there with the MX-5 that is not there today, of course, of... I forget the name of the MX-5, Toscano, there we go, Robert Toscano. Yes.
Robert Toscano, yeah.
There we go, it came right back to me very quickly. Unfortunately, not here today looks like a Toscano. I don't see him in the entry.
No.
So he won't be having as much fun today, but he always has fun, does Günther Appelgren. And then the MGA twin cam of Chris Champion will be starting second, with Jaco Oosthuizen, a relative newcomer to racing here at Killarney in that Conquest, a lovely, lovely Conquest that beautifully made, or beautifully put together. And then Dave Alexander in the Morgan. I saw the Morgan, the green Morgan, downstairs as well. That's a real classic, that one. And then Roger Lewis in his trusty MGA, and then the Austin Healey Sprite, Di Dugmore in the Frog Eye Sprite.
Oh yeah, folks, we're just for the people at home. The camera work is being done by Gary Gazza Fleming of Second Gear Productions, also one of the commentators. And we do apologize. We have IMSAT's done a whole new setup for the cameras. So for the folks at home, please don't moan. It's all teething problems. Everything has been redone so that we can give you better picture and better production in the future, Gary, because we want to update the standard.
Yeah, there's already quite a bit of improvement since the start of the morning. At least now we got a clear picture this side. Sorry about that camera down in turn number 1 that's doing circles, and somebody must be playing music near the camera because the camera's dancing around all over the show. But we're busy sorting out the finer detail. It's a massive, massive change up to be able to do everything here from the commentary box and then down from the new comm center, which is on top of garage number 1, 2, 3 and 4 down in the old pit lane. But it gets better and better every single time, so I'm sure by lunchtime we should be pretty much sorted out that we can preempt the camera shots for you as well. Right, here we go, Frank Guinness and Byron Height Mike side. Race number 1, Kaltron Formula Supercars und Bejo Trustees fine cars, race number 1.
Right, so they get the green flag, they will leave the line. The safety car is working its way into turn number 1, and this will be a rolling start, Byron, as the Bejo Trustee fine cars leave the line.
They do, and Günther Appelgren will lead them off, that bright green E36 BMW, and then alongside him there is the MGA twin cam. You'll see there's two new entries, I should rather say, and the of course the Austin Healey frog-eyed Sprite of Di Dugmore, and the Morgan that is at British Racing Green Morgan that you'll see there. That is Dave Alexander that is in that particular motor car. So it's great to see some different motor cars coming to Killarney as Oosthuizen finds himself, as I say, in that Conquest, 1600 Conquest. And yeah, they make their way around turn 2 on this warm-up lap as the Renault Triber takes them around on this sighting lap.
Yeah, the Kaltron Formula Supercars are working their way up the Tygerberg Straight towards a turn 4, Saddle Sweep, previously known as Malmesbury Sweep. Well, it's still Malmesbury, but the big borders there of Saddle van der Merwe, and it's now being christened the Saddle Sweep. So you will see the fine cars working their way down the back straight. That's the, what should I say, the supercars. There they go down the back straight. The fine cars in the back of your screen just working their way out of that Saddle Sweep as the supercars now head down the Kalani Straight towards turn 5, towards Fostron Corner, past the Wingfield Motors banner, and head towards turn 5, towards Pertamina Fostron. Just in the background there, Byron, you can pick up the Bejo Trustee fine cars.
12 of them out there in total between two classes, 6 each. Frankie, yeah, they come around now. The Renault Triber will take shot right, and we'll be racing here for the Kaltron Formula Supercars and Bejo Trustees fine cars.
Right, the safety car will peel off into pit lane, and it will be there in the hands of Andrew Moffat, and Carl Halleck will sit there on his outside. The light on pit lane is on. All 5 lights at the extra pit lane on. The 5 lights will go off now. They drop the hammers, and away they go as they race down into turn number 1. And as they do so, Byron, here come the fine cars to start their race.
Well, ready to go here. The lights will be on once again. And now it is as we go towards turn 1 for the first time. And Jaco Oosthuizen will be challenging for the lead into turn 1 and will come around the outside. But Gunther Appelgren will get the whole shot into turn 1.
Working their way now out of turn number 2 are the Supercars, and they've been led there by nobody else than Andrew Moffat. Glenn Phillips sits there in that second position, racing down towards Interceptor Corner. Carl Halleck is there in third. Behind Halleck is Van der Merwe. That is Karel van der Merwe. And then it is that Craig Hume that sits there behind him. We'll have a look and see as they work their way through turn number 4.
Well, back to turn 3 now. We watch the fine cars coming through. Gunther Appelgren in the 3 Series BM. There's ahead of the Jaco Oosthuizen Conquest. And then in third position coming through should be the MGA twin cam of Chris Champion.
So the Supercars are working their way out of turn number 5. They exit turn 5, Pertamina Fostron, coming down towards the City of Cape Town Bridge. And it is Andrew Moffat and Glenn Phillips that sits there in P1 and P2. Carl Halleck is there in that third place as they race under that City of Cape Town Bridge. Karel van der Merwe has been challenged there by Craig Hume as they work their way under the City of Cape Town Bridge, with the Supercars working their way out of turn number 1, being led there by Andrew Moffat.
Well, getting their way to the line now in the first lap being completed by Gunther Appelgren, leading from pole position. Then it is Oosthuizen, and the gap between the two of them, well, it will be a few clicks there, I can tell you that much. We're talking about 3.4 seconds, and then Chris Champion should be the man coming next. But look at this little gaggle of cars here. Chris Champion ahead then of course, Roger Lewis is not in this race, unfortunately, with the MGA. The Morgan tails it, but Di Dugmore comes up into 9th position off of Chris Champion.
Right, so the Supercars are working their way through turn number 4. The double right-hander, that is Cyril Sweep, will pick them up down the back straight. That is a Craig Hume you see there, and behind Craig Hume is a Karel van der Merwe as the leading group of Supercars are racing down towards Pertamina Fostron into turn 5, and your leader is Andrew Moffat. Moffat working his way out of 5. Not too far behind him is that red number 54 car, and that is Glenn Phillips as they make their way through the kink. And in that third position, it's a distant third position, is the 31 of Carl Halleck, followed there by Craig Hume and Karel van der Merwe.
Just want to go to turn 4 over here. That's the one I want to watch. And first towards turn 5, it will be Gunther Appelgren coming through into turn 5 now. You see the green BMW going in, and then it is going to be the Oosthuizen Conquest, still champion, ahead of Dugmore by 0.6 of a second. Alexander a further 0.6 off of him in 10th spot at the moment.
So into the kink goes your leading group of supercars. Well, it's basically only one man working his way through Interceptor Corner, and that is Andrew Moffat. In second position is Glenn Phillips, followed there by Carl Halleck, and then working their way through the kink now towards turn number 3 Interceptor Corner is a Craig Hume, and being left behind now is a Karel van der Merwe.
Yeah, so going into turn 1, as we look, it is going to be the gaggle of cars, the MGA, followed by the Frog Eye Sprite, and then the Morgan. That is 8th, 9th and 10th positions, but also 3rd, 4th and 5th positions in the Bejo Trustees Fine Cars class. Chris Champion will still hold it there just by a smidgen.
So, crossing the line to start another lap is your overall leader, Andrew Moffat, and he's done a 128.684. Second across the line, racing down towards turn number 1 is Glenn Phillips. Third across the line, working his way towards turn 1 now, is the 31 car of Carl Halleck. Then it's a big gap before we see Craig Hume come into view now. He sits there in that 4th position in car 21, and then the 74 car sitting in P5 crossing the line now, heading into turn 1. That will be Karel van der Merwe.
Turn 5, Pertamina Fastron. It is coming onto the main straight. Gunther Appelgrein crosses the line. It will be 5 laps to go, and he started that 5th last lap as far as it's concerned. There is a very slow moving conquest of Jaco Oosthuizen. Crosses the line now. And just as we speak, Frankie, there is a car coming into the pits of the Supercars. Does look like it from this view. I don't know if I'm seeing correctly. But it's Craig Hume, I think it might be coming in. But then going into turn 5, coming out of turn 5 now, it is Chris Champion heading Di Dugmore, going very wide there, Di Dugmore, and trying to home in on him is the Morgan of Dave Alexander. Yeah, they come now towards the line and starts another lap.
Well, the car you saw coming into pits was actually a clubman's car. Craig Hume is still out there on track. Racing towards turn number 1 is your overall leader, and that is Andrew Moffat, still the quickest man out there, 128.519, with Glenn Phillips in that 2nd position, and Glenn is pretty far behind him as a matter of fact. Then it is Carl Halleck that's there in that 3rd place, working his way towards turn number 1, but that fine car fight, Byron, is heading towards turn number 2, and right behind them is that supercar overall leader.
Oh, he's going to spoil the party a little bit there, Frankie, because here he pierces his way through. He makes easy work of it, but he's disturbed that battle as they come into turn 3 now. Interceptor corner, there goes Andrew Moffat ahead of Chris Champion. I see Andrew Moffat's just putting in a 28.519 as his fastest lap as they go towards Super Saddle Sweep, and I see, is that a black flag waving there somewhere? I might be seeing wrong, but yeah, they come into that section.
Right, so we're going to pick up that fine car leader, the supercar leader. There he goes, all on his own, down the back straight towards turn 5, towards Fastron corner, and that is Andrew Moffat out there. And he's still the quickest man out there with a 128.519. I don't think he's going to go much quicker than that. When he crosses the line, you'll have 3 more laps to go. Working his way out of 5, out of Fastron, towards the city of Cape Town and the Wingfield Motors Bridge. He races down towards turn number 1 as the man in 2nd position comes towards us. That is Glenn Phillips, and they've both gone past that trio of fine cars. Then 3rd place man is Carl Halleck, all on his own. There's massive gaps here in the supercars. And then heading into turn 5, into Fastron corner now, is that 21 supercar of Craig Hume. And then working his way towards Fastron is Karel van der Merwe.
Just like to go to turn 2 in that battle in the fine cars section. Here they come. And still, it's going to be supercars breaking their way through, piercing their way through. Champion gingerly makes his way into the turn now behind the supercar. Watch out there for Di Dugmore. He goes wide again, and the Morgan closes up of Dave Alexander. Through the kink they run, and towards the turn 3 interceptor section. Running through there in the MGA twin cam.
So the leading supercar, all on his own, working his way into turn number 5, racing down towards a Fastron corner. Way down the road is Andrew Moffat. He's working his way out of 5. That car you see on screen there, that's a 2nd place man, and that is Glenn Phillips. That's working his way out of Pertamina Fastron. The supercar gaps are huge, working his way into Fastron corner now is the 3rd place man, and that is Carl Halleck. That's making his way towards us. as first and second in the supercars have just worked their way out of turn number 1 as Halleck races down towards turn 1. But Byram, the only real fight out there is basically the one that's heading towards the City of Cape Town Bridge.
And then towards turn 1, watch Di Dugmore will come around on the outside of the Chris Champion MGA. He's not close enough, I think. Let's see them as they go around that first turn. They'll be side by side through there. The Dave Alexander Morgan will also keep himself in that little group. There is now going to be 2 laps left to go, including the one these guys are currently on. And they're going to be running up to turn 2 for yet another occasion.
Right, so there will be a lap and a bit to go for the supercars as your leader is heading into turn number 5, working his way into Fostron corner. That's nobody else than Mr. Andrew Moffat, who is the quickest man. No, he's not. Glenn Phillips is the quickest man out there with a 128.293 is Glenn. But your leader coming around, class and overall leader to start his final lap, and that is Andrew Moffat. Here comes Phillips across the line, and as Moffat starts his last lap, he's the fastest man out there with a 127.898. Heading towards the City of Cape Town Bridge is the man that's third overall, Carl Halleck, and he's quite some distance behind Glenn Phillips. He's a Carl Halleck as that fight still raging on into Fostron corner, Byron, that fight in the fine cars.
Yeah, watch turn 5. That is the one to watch. And the Morgan is closed up. Dave Alexander, remember, he is 5th in that battle, 10th at the moment overall. And they're going to have a supercar come right past them there. And I think that's the number 21 of Craig Hume. And he will then make his way past, but still the third place man in the fine cars class. Forget about Applegreen, forget about Westhuizen. They're miles ahead at the moment, and they will now start the final lap of their race.
Final lap for the supercars, and the leaders heading into turn number 5 into Fostron corner. That's your class and overall leader on the last lap. The checkered flag is out for Andrew Moffat as he makes his way out of Fostron corner towards the checkered flag. I just checked out the window. Yes, the flag is waiting for your overall leader, Andrew Moffat, in the 39 car as he brings it home in P1. Under the bridge he goes, and victory goes to Andrew Moffat. Second crosses the line now, and that will be the 54 supercar of Glenn Phillips, and he is the quickest man out there on the final lap, a 127.791. You're waiting for Carl Halleck. That's in that third position, all on his own, working his way towards the City of Cape Town Bridge, and he will finish third in class and third overall.
Looking at the fine cars, Gunther Appelgren on his last lap. Jaco Oosthuizen has already been lapped, so he'll finish 7th and 2nd in the Bejo Trustee fine cars class. Chris Champion is still heading that gaggle down the back straight, ahead there of the Sprite, the Austin Healey Sprite of Di Dugmore. Will Di Dugmore go onto the inside? No, I don't think he will be able to make any type of move there. Meanwhile, Frankie, I see it looks like Craig Hume coming across the line.
Hume finishes his race, but here's your fight working its way out of the Pertamina Fostron corner towards the flag.
Oh, it's been a real treat, this little battle here, as it's going to be Chris Champion that will take the MGA across the line just ahead of Di Dugmore and Dave Alexander. Here comes our winner, though, on the lead lap. The only man on the lead lap in the Bejo Trustee Fine Cars, Gunther Appelgren, will finish 5th overall and winner of the Fine Car section.
And then just behind him was Karel van der Merwe that finished in P6, but 5th overall for the Supercars.
So all of them have seen the line. Unfortunately, 2 non-starters, Yassine Darman in the Opel Supercars and the MGA of Roger Lewis, the number 1. He did not start this race. So only 10 of them out there, 5 in each class, and that, of course, was our first Kaltron Formula Supercars and Bejo Trustees Fine Cars race for the day. Remember, all races are 2 heats or 2 races for the day. And we're then going to be moving on shortly now, to motorcycles. It's going to be Bridgestone Super Twin Cups